Hello, hi, welcome back everybody to the Daily Cooking Show, to the Daily Cooking Stream. I hope you're all having a beautiful, whatever day it is actually. Today's a Friday, today's August 23rd. Welcome on in, welcome to the show. I'm really excited about today because we're going to make something exceptionally delicious that I have not had in a little bit of time. And so I'm really excited to have it, and I'm excited to be able to share it with all of you. And I see that we have all of my lovely viewers, all of my lovely sous chefs in the chat at the moment. Hello to San Pablo, hello to Shai Chica, hello to Turina, hello to Moonhunt, hello to Trash Can Cat Mom, hello to Turina Chess. I think I already said hi to you. Chef, we got the day because that has ascended beyond that concept. That's right, Moonhunt. Dates and times mean nothing to me anymore. Star Fox, welcome on in. I hope you're having an excellent day as well. Hope all is well with you. I also saw that we had Chow Yard in the chat as well, and also hi to Iliam. So, welcome on in. It is lovely to have all of you, because today, everybody, we're going to be finally doing some Korean food again. I love Korean food. I think Korean food is so delicious, it is so flavorful, and it is so unique in so many different ways. But the reason why I want to be able to teach you guys Korean food, especially inside of a home setting, is the following. A lot of people kind of associate Korean food with almost exclusively KBBQ. They associate Korean barbecue as like, oh, this is what Korean food is. Super meat heavy, you just eat nothing but pork belly and nothing but bulgogi. And while that is a very valid form of Korean cooking, right, that is the kind of thing that you go out to with people, that's not the kind of food that people eat at home. A lot of the point of my cooking show is to try and introduce to you guys not restaurant food. I'm not here to show you how to make these dishes that are only realistic in a restaurant setting. Right? I'm not making buffalo wings here, which require you to deep fry it and everything. I'm here to show you guys home cooking, the kinds of things that people eat at home from different cultures. Okay, and so today, everybody, we're going to be doing what is called a jjigae. A jjigae in Korean cooking. Wait a second, my camera is a little bit off. I need you to come back with me really quickly. Hold on, everybody, I apologize. But a jjigae is essentially just a stew. And in Korean cooking, there is a very big difference between a stew and then a soup. The stews, they tend to be a little bit thicker, they tend to be a little bit richer. And then the soups, they tend to be really clean. Very clean, not a lot of toppings in there. And just like a very clean, refined broth. A jjigae though, it's a hearty, it's a rich, it's a flavorful stew, and it is full of a lot of delicious ingredients, which we'll talk about in a second. Now, there is another reason why I'm going to be teaching you this today, and I need to hear another yes chef, please, and thank you from everybody watching. And that's because making Korean food at home is so much cheaper than going out for Korean food. Okay? Chef, my friend said people can't have jjigae if they're straight. Is this misinfo? Yeah, that's true. You can't have jjigae if you're straight. But a really big problem that I have is I love Korean food. I love going out to Korean restaurants that aren't just KBBQ places. But a really huge issue is that these super staple basic dishes like jjigae and so much more, they're ridiculously expensive for no reason. Also, cowboy stuff, welcome on in. Thank you so much for the sub. I hope you're having an excellent day. My really big problem with going out for Korean food is that this food that is made from staples like tofu and noodles and potatoes and like cheap cuts of meat, going out for it, it's like $20, $25 a bowl. Even 10 years ago it was $20. Maybe that's just my experience growing up in New York City, and our Korean neighborhood is of course K-Town, where everything is absurdly expensive. But Korean food, I don't think, should be that expensive. So much of Korean cooking is home food, my friends. It's a lot of greens, it's a lot of staples, and it's super delicious. And so, that's why I wanted to be able to show it to you guys. Now that I'm talking, I realize that I left wet laundry in the washer. Oh no, okay. That's a problem for 3 hours from now. And then we'll just go ahead and talk about food in the meantime. Take it out? No, I have to go all the way down to the basement for that. That's not gonna happen. Tobiah, welcome on in. Okay, so let's just go ahead and do a little showcase of the ingredients. We're going to be doing my jjigae a little bit differently. I've made jjigae quite a few times before that I feel comfortable deviating from tradition, and we'll talk about that in a second. So, everybody, my inspiration for today began from this. I had some leftover chicken sitting in my freezer. Okay, when we broke down a whole chicken together, we got left with the wings and we got left with the legs. And with these lovely wings and with these lovely legs, we're going to make a beautiful homemade chicken stock. And then we're going to take the meat off of the legs and then shred it up and then put like a nice big pile of it. You don't typically see chicken jjigae. You oftentimes see tofu, you see soft tofu, you see kimchi, and you see pork belly inside of jjigaes. You don't really see a lot of chicken jjigaes, but guess what? Jjigae just means stew. There is no single unifying recipe for a jjigae. In fact, you don't even need to use some of the ingredients that I'll show to all of you today. Jjigae can be a bit of a loose term. I feel like a lot of people, they have this idea that a lot of these cultural dishes, they have to be done this exact way, when in reality, there is a million different variations and you just have to know what the soul and the heart of the dish is. So, beautiful chicken legs, beautiful chicken wings. I'm gonna go ahead and put that down behind me. Next bit of inspiration for you today, everybody. I had left over half a block of extra firm tofu. And so I wanted to have the tofu inside of the jjigae. Oftentimes a variation of jjigae that you'll see is sundubu jjigae, which is made with a silken tofu. Right? In my case, I just have some extra firm tofu and I thought I may as well go ahead and use it up. I have an onion, I have a leftover potato as well, because remember everybody, the goal of the cooking show is to teach all of you how to use up your existing leftovers, how to use up all these leftovers so that they don't go bad, right? I looked at my fridge, I looked at all of my leftover produce, and I wanted to make something very special with it, okay? So, tofu, potato, onion, and also some garlic. And by the way, guys, aside from like the onion component, you don't have to include potatoes, you don't have to include chicken, you don't have to include tofu. All of those are completely and entirely up to you. Is the onion having a good Friday? He sure is. Next bit of inspiration, I had leftover scallions. I bought another bunch of scallions because guys, you cannot, and I'm gonna say this again and again, you can't have Korean food without scallions. And how many scallions? The answer is way too many scallions. So I got a bunch of scallions. I'm gonna be using the butts in the broth today. I'm gonna go ahead and put that down behind me. Next, the most important staples that you could possibly have in any home for making Korean food are these two items right here, my friends. This is gochujang and this is gochugaru. Okay, gochujang is a fermented red pepper paste. It's pretty spicy, it's very aromatic, it's super, super delicious. This is a red pepper flake. In my case, it's a red pepper powder. I don't know why, but the lady at the grocery store said that it's gochugaru. And so I will trust her judgment. So I have some gochugaru and I have some gochujang. If you want to make Korean food, these are two staples that you need to keep around, my friends. Gochujang and gochugaru are used everywhere. You need to use scallions, you need to use gochujang, you need to use gochugaru, and sometimes you also use what is called doenjang. Doenjang is similar to a miso paste. It's a little bit more intense. It's another fermented bean paste, my friends. But again, if you want to make Korean food, you need these two items. Okay, gonna put that down behind me. Next, as far as the side dish goes, in Korean food, my friends, there is a concept known as banchan. So, a really huge misconception that a lot of people get is that, oh, you have to make everything all at once. Not true. A lot of Korean food is about having a bunch of separate little cold side dishes and then one main dish and a fresh thing of rice. Okay, so in my case, the main dish for today will be the jjigae. I also have some kimchi in my fridge that I got at the farmer's market that we'll serve all of this with. And then, my friends, we're also going to do some sautéed string beans. And then we're gonna serve it cold. We're gonna almost do like a cold salad. We're gonna do it with garlic. We're gonna do it with sesame oil, sesame seeds if I can find some, okay? And we're also going to do it with some cilantro. So this is not gonna be a warm dish. We're going to prepare it, it's going to cool off, and then we'll mix it in with everything else that we want. And again, why am I using string beans? Because I had leftover string beans, my friends. So the biggest thing you need to understand about Korean food, it's a main dish, plus rice, plus a bunch of little, oftentimes cold vegetable-based side dishes. A lot of kimchis, sometimes you have like an egg salad, sometimes you have, something vegetable-based like this. And we're using a lot of gochujang, we're using a lot of gochugaru because that is the heart and soul, my friends. So that is the basic gist of all of the different ingredients. Is everybody ready for today? I want to hear a nice resounding yes, chef, from everybody watching, please, and thank you. Also, two things, bit of housekeeping. If at any point you're joining on in and you have any cooking questions whatsoever, everybody, please feel free to ask me. Remember, my goal is to teach you all how to cook at home. I'm here to teach you how to cook at home with confidence and how to feel really comfortable navigating in the kitchen. So any questions about this dish or about something else, please feel free to ask me. Next, if you would like a full list of ingredients at any point, exclamation mark menu will give you the full list of ingredients. Okay? With all that being said, I think we just can get started. And it's all going to begin today, my friends, with making a delicious homemade chicken stock. I have my Instant Pot. You already know I love using my pressure cooker to be able to make stocks because it gets it done super quickly and efficiently. Now, really, really important. Oftentimes, jjigaes are not based off of a meat broth. Jjigaes are most often made from an anchovy and kelp broth. Okay, so you have some dried anchovies, very similar to dashi in a way. You'd make a broth out of dried anchovies and a little bit of kombu. Well, not exactly kombu, it's a different type of kelp, I believe. And it gives it like a very, really nice meatiness to it. I don't have dried anchovies. I also don't have any kelp on hand. But what I do have, my friends, is my pieces of chicken. I have all of this lovely chicken right here. Now, even though these aren't explicitly chicken bones, we can still use these for an amazing chicken stock. The wings and the legs especially, they have a lot of bones, they have a lot of collagen, and a lot of that can be transformed into a lovely chicken stock as well. So the goal for me, in this case, would be to cook through the chicken and get it to a point where we could probably pull the meat off of it and then just serve that in a little mound inside of the soup today. So I'm going to go ahead and just add those directly into my pressure cooker pot. And then we'll go in with the rest of our aromatics, my friends. So again, the only thing I don't want you to do, I don't want to use boxed chicken stock. Everybody, a jjigae is all about a flavorful, delicious, rich broth. Okay, if you absolutely must, you could just do water instead. I would highly recommend doing the anchovy broth. I would highly recommend doing the kelp broth, something like that. But guys, especially for something like this, you do not want to ever be using boxed chicken stock. Boxed chicken stock, it is not your friend. It has no flavor, it is watery, and the only flavor that it does have is the flavor of the can. It is the flavor of the box itself. I sincerely do not like boxed chicken stocks. I do not like them, and I do not think that people need them. If you need an immediate substitute for chicken stock, I always advocate for powdered chicken bouillon, my friends. Powdered chicken bouillon will always take you so much further than boxed chicken stock will. Okay, chicken legs inside, beautiful. And now, this is the real magic of making your own homemade chicken stock, which is that you get to use up any and all scraps that you may have. In my case today, everybody, you know what I'm gonna have? I'm gonna have quite a few scraps. Because all those different little vegetable scraps, onion scraps, scallion scraps especially, they add to the aroma and they add to the flavor of the broth, my friends. So, let's go ahead and begin. Let's go ahead and start with my scallions. So, I have a bunch of scallions. Normally, we would discard the roots. We would discard the butts of the scallions, right? Because they're obviously not all that good for eating. However, while they might not be good for explicitly eating, what they are good for, my friends, is letting us extract some flavor out of them, okay? So instead of throwing them away, we're going to make the most out of them. I heavily wash them. You really want to wash your scallions, everybody. Don't just rinse it under water. I mean, soak your scallions. Heavily soak it, okay? Because you want to get rid of all of that sand. You need to give it at least a few washes, okay? Otherwise, you're going to have sandy scallions and nobody's going to want to eat that, okay? So, everybody, I have my lovely, beautiful little scallions here. All I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm just going to go ahead and just cut the butts of them off. We're going to be using the scallion whites. Everybody, in Korean cooking especially, you can never have too many scallions. So, making the most out of it. And all broths, all stocks, they all benefit from an allium component, my friends. Okay, be it onions, be it leeks, be it scallions, whatever you want. The allium provides so much aroma. It provides so much flavor. This is the most important aromatic that you could possibly add to a stock. Okay? Chef said it all the way without euphemism. Have I ever made a euphemism about scallions? I don't know. Anyways, point is, scallions, these are all of my butts. I'm gonna go ahead and put them into the pot. Again, the beauty of making your own homemade chicken stock, my friends, is you get to use up all the different things that you would otherwise throw away. Next, on the topic of things that we would otherwise throw away, you know what we would normally throw away? We would normally throw away a few layers of the onion. This is an older onion that I've had sitting around in my fridge. Okay, it's a little bit mushy at this point in time, so I'm going to be quite generous in taking off a few layers from it, but that's okay. It's still gonna go ahead and get used. I'm gonna throw that into the pot. In she goes. Last but not least, my friends, I am gonna be cooking with cilantro today. Cilantro is not oftentimes seen in Korean food, but guess what? That's okay. It is okay for us to break tradition a little bit here. Guys, this is my home kitchen. I have cilantro that I want to use up before it goes bad. So I have all of these stems that I normally throw away. And so what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go ahead and put them inside of my chicken stock, guys. Okay, because that's the right thing for us to do. So I'm going to go ahead and get my cilantro out. This is going to be roughly the amount of cilantro that I need for today anyways. I'll go ahead and box this up and put it away. Chef owns stock in Scallion Fund. The master plan is getting people to buy more scallions to increase profits. That's right, everybody. I am the secret CEO of Big Scallion. That's me. That's me the whole time. So, why do I discard the cilantro stems? Because I don't really like the toothsomeness of it. I don't really like the texture of it. So we're just going to go ahead and take our time to just pluck all of my stems from the leaves. There is no exact method to this, guys. Just go at it. Go at it, get it done. I don't gotta tell you how to do this part. And so if you have any and all questions, now would be an excellent time to ask me. Okay, so once again, saving all of our stems. Saving them up, keeping the leaves. Can stems go in most stocks, or do they only fit in a select few? So Turina, that's a really good question. The answer is, it depends on the context of the thing that you're making. Parsley stems I would consider to be quite universal, or at least because I grew up Russian Jewish. Russian Jews especially, we eat a lot of parsley. Eastern Europeans love parsley, Jews love parsley, Russians love parsley. So almost all of the chicken stocks I had growing up, they featured a lot of parsley inside of it. As a result, parsley has become contextual to the taste of a chicken stock. Now, if I were to go ahead and make this chicken stock with cilantro stems, and I gave it to my Russian Jewish grandma, she would be like, oh, there is a flavor in here that I don't recognize. So the answer is the following. You could theoretically add it wherever your heart desires, but cilantro stems will have the flavor of cilantro carried in them. And ultimately, it is just up to you. It is up to you. It is up to you, and it is up to you depending on the thing that you're making. Especially if I'm like making like a cuisine that normally features cilantro, like Mexican food, then oftentimes I would try to make my chicken stocks with cilantro stems. At the end of the day though, guys, I love the flavor of cilantro. I love the aroma of cilantro. And so it's going to go in no matter what. Because the beauty of fresh herbs, even if they're not traditional, is how interchangeable they are. Right? You can be so creative with fresh herbs, even in cuisines that they don't authentically belong in. My number one goal is just to use up my food, use up my produce before it goes bad, everybody, okay? And so that's why I have so much cilantro. I love making a lot of Hispanic food. I love making a lot of Latin American food. Right? And Latin American food is completely and totally saturated with cilantro. So, almost done. We're just picking off all the nice big leaves. This is not the world's freshest cilantro. Food waste is a crime? Kind of. I'm more so I actually have a bit of a controversial opinion about food waste, which is by itself, individual consumer food waste is actually kind of okay. Not that it's ideal, of course. It's not like I like food waste. But everybody, if you think about it, if you think about how much food waste you or I actually contribute to versus, let's say, something like a grocery store, groceries, they throw away so much food. They throw away incomprehensible amounts of food every single week. I am more so concerned with saving us money. I want to save us money, and I don't want things to go bad because I want to use them before they go bad. So it's a little bit less about food waste, also because food composts, right? Especially, I'm going to get started on like a composting cycle sometime soon in the next few months. I'm not as concerned with food waste as I am concerned about money waste on an individual level. On a big corporate level, I dropped one of my stems. I guess I'll go ahead and discard that one. On a big corporate level, I am upset about food waste because of how much restaurants and how much grocery stores produce. But guys, on an individual level, it's okay if something goes bad sometimes and you throw it away. It's not ideal, but it's okay. Also, are we having a wash raid? Well, come on in. We'll do a little bit of a recap in a second then. Everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and cover up my chicken with some water. I love that everybody's already coming in saying, yes, chef. That's the kind of energy that I want you all to keep. And then we'll talk about everything that we're doing today, and we'll talk about everything that we have going on. So, everybody coming in, welcome to the best cooking show on twitch.tv. We're gonna go ahead and get a chicken stock started, and we'll talk about all the different ingredients that we have in the pot, my friends. And we'll talk about what we're doing today, and we'll talk about why and what we're hoping to achieve. So, making sure that my chicken legs and my chicken wings are nicely covered up with some water. Welcome on in, everybody. It is lovely to have all of you. Howdy, howdy. Okay, so, everybody, let's go over here. Let's go to my other camera, please and thank you. Okay, so, welcome on in, everybody. We're going to be doing some Korean food today. Also, thank you so much to Mika Book for the sub. That's very sweet of you. Thank you, thank you. We're going to be making Korean food. Now, I love Korean food. I love going out for Korean food. But if any of you have ever gone out for Korean food, you would know how expensive restaurant Korean food is. And the issue with that, my doorbell is ringing at the same time. The issue with going out for restaurant Korean food is that a lot of staples, a lot of really, really basic staples, guys. Things made out of tofu, things that are based out of noodles, right? Things that use fermented chili paste, they're like $20 to $25 a bowl. Also, Panic Stasis, thank you so much for the Prime sub. So, another thing is, a lot of people have a misconception that Korean food begins and ends with KBBQ, okay? When in reality, Korean cooking is so much more. I am not here to show you how to cook KBBQ. You probably don't have a little gas grill of some kind that is able to have that kind of a heat output. My goal is to teach you all how to cook at home. Also, thank you so much for the gifted sub. I want to teach you guys how to cook at home. I want to teach you guys how special home cooking can be. And I want to show you the kinds of things that people eat at home. Okay? Chow Yard, thank you so much for all the gifted subs. That's very sweet of you. So, I want to show you Korean home cooking. I'm not here to show you restaurant dishes. So today, my friends, we're making a jjigae. A jjigae is a Korean stew. It's not a soup, it's a little bit thicker, and it oftentimes features anchovy broth, anchovy and kelp broth. In my case today, we're going to be doing it with chicken broth because I had leftover chicken pieces, and so we're going to be basing it in chicken, and we're going to have a bunch of little chicken pieces inside. I'm here to teach you how to cook at home. I'm here to teach you how to use up all of your existing leftovers. And so that begins, my friends, with a homemade chicken stock. I want you all, and I want to hear a big yes, chef, from everybody watching. I want you all to get into the habit of making your own homemade chicken stocks. I use a pressure cooker because it's able to save so much time. Boxed chicken stock, quite frankly, sucks. You're buying what is mostly water weight for a couple of dollars that doesn't even have the flavor, it doesn't have the collagen, it doesn't have the density of a really good quality chicken broth. Now, if you have to, you could do chicken bouillon powder, but the biggest thing is no boxed chicken stock, no canned chicken stock. You can do powdered chicken stocks, those are okay, but at the end of the day, my friends, the best thing about a homemade chicken stock is that it lets you use up all of your existing leftovers. So, I had leftover chicken legs, I had leftover cilantro stems, I have my scallion butts, and I have my onion skin. These are all components. Also, Dosky, thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs, thank you. Right? Instant Pot also doesn't set off your smoke alarm overnight. That's true. That is true. So, we're using up all of our existing vegetable scraps. And really important, guys, I never salt my stocks because if we use it for something else in the future, we don't know how much salt that we need, right? Sometimes you want to reduce it down to a thick sauce. Sometimes you want to keep it as a soup. So I keep all of my chicken stocks by principle unsalted. So, all that this has, my friends, my cilantro stems, my scallion butts, as well as my chicken legs and my onion skin. So I'm going to put that onto my pressure cooker. And that's going to go for about, I don't know, maybe like 40 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. We don't want to cook the chicken legs for too long because we don't want it to completely fall apart into the broth. We want to be able to really, really gently still pull it away. So I'm going to put it in for about 35, maybe 37 minutes on a high pressure. And that should be able to go ahead and get it done. I continuously advocate, my friends, I continuously advocate for the use of a pressure cooker in a home setting. They're ideal for stocks and they're ideal for beans because it just helps me get into the routine of constantly keeping bones in my freezer, constantly saving my scraps, constantly saving them so I can make a beautiful stock, okay? So, that was a lot of talking. Hi, welcome to the show. I'm sorry that I was 150% energy. If I also have pork and beef bones, can I add those to the stock along the chicken bones, or will those flavors clash? So, really good question, SnapGab. The answer is the following. It's not that it would clash, it's that it would make the taste of it a little bit different. If you're making a stock based on beef bones, I would recommend pre-blanching them. You want to boil the bones first and give them a good wash. That gets rid of a lot of the scum, a lot of this protein that coagulates and cakes up on top. It's not all that flavorful as much as it is an unpleasant texture. So you absolutely can, SnapGab. People plenty times, they do mixed chicken and beef stocks and whatnot. It just creates a different product. How much water did I put? Star Fox, basically just enough to cover the chicken. Because if we have too much water, then the chicken stock is not going to be as concentrated as it can be, and we'll have to reduce it a bunch. We'll have to boil it down to evaporate the liquid. So just enough until all of my different components are nice and covered. Okay, I am gonna go ahead and put a few things behind me really quickly, and then we can move on to the million little tasks that we have to go ahead and do today. And as always, everybody, if you like the cooking show, if you'd like to help out, what really goes a long way, exclamation mark Patreon, best way to go ahead and directly financially support the cooking show, because my goal is to be able to do this full time one day. I want to improve the production. I want to do this as good as possible. Yeah, excellent. Okay, so what do we actually have left to do? The chicken stock is going. In the meantime, we have a few things that we need to prepare. First of all, I have all of my lovely leftover string beans. In Korean food, there is a concept known as banchan. Basically, you eat a big dish, and then a bunch of the little side dishes are called banchan. We're going to be sautéing these string beans with some garlic. If I can find some sesame seeds, we're gonna do it with some sesame oil, and then just dress it with some vinegar when it comes out, and then we'll serve it with green onion as well as some fresh cilantro. It's going to be fresh, it's going to be nice and vegetal, it's gonna be nice and delicious. So let's just go ahead and get my string beans prepped for today. JK Trey, thank you for the 100 bits, and welcome on in, Miss Spooky. So, over here we go. So, I got string beans. These guys, they're heavily washed, heavily soaked, and then put into my salad spinner. These are leftover from my previous stream. Just a nice small handful of string beans. Nice and straight. And so, a lot of people say, oh, you have to snap it and peel it back. Everybody, we live in the year 2024. Because of a little selective breeding practices, we don't really actually have to do that. String beans, they don't have as much of a string as they used to however many years ago. Okay? So, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. It'll be perfect. Okay? So, just adjusting my camera slightly. Stop shaking. Thank you very much. All that we're going to do, everybody, is we're just going to cut off the butts and we're going to cut off the tails. So take them, stack them up nice and straight, stack them up nice and flat. I yelled string beans, she knew they were washed. Muna, I've missed it completely. I don't understand what you're trying to say there. My partner went to culinary school some years ago and it changed our lives. This person knows their shit. Thank you, Warden. That's very sweet of you. Also, happy for your partner going to culinary school. But that's like culinary school is like if you're trying to get into the industry, right? It gives you a lot of really good connections to be able to do so. So everybody stack them up, take it, and just cut those butts and tails off. Take them off, get them out of here. Get them out of there, and then give them a nice little rotation, just like so. And once again, just stack them up. Stack it up, stack it up, stack it up. There you go. And get those butts and ends off. Now, some of them a little bit tricky, especially because they're all like slightly different lengths. They're all slightly different sizes. So I'm just going to probably take it 2 by 2 and just snip them off. That's a lot easier than wasting a lot of time stacking them up arbitrarily. Okay, there you go. Going through it, just processing them, because the tips, they tend to be a little bit tough and they don't necessarily make for the best eating. We want to save as much of the string bean as possible, guys. So how much I've been cutting off is honestly a little bit too much. Okay, so these guys I also just trimmed up. Excellent. Let's grab the next pile. 1 and 2. Excellent. Just like so. Just snip them off, guys. Nothing technical, nothing too difficult here. Take a pile and snip them off. Only thing is we just want to minimize the amount of waste because string beans, they do shrink down quite a bit as they cook. And so we want to keep as much of that nice and intact. Although I don't think I have to explain that part too much for all of you. Stack it up, snip it. Beautiful. And for today, we're not even going to be like cutting them in half or anything because I want like nice long string beans that I can eat with some chopsticks. So we're not going to go for like really short pieces or anything. Beautiful. A few more. Take it and slice it take it and slice it. Excellent. Take it, and what do we do, guys? That's right, we just slice it. Why do you hydrate/soak the string beans? Really good question. Mostly because of the pesticides that tend to be on them. String beans, especially, and any kind of like green vegetable, on the outside, guys, they are absolutely covered and soaked in insecticides and in pesticides. So I soak them in nice cold water, and then I put them through my salad spinner. If you don't own a salad spinner, quite frankly, you're making a mistake. Salad spinners are one of my favorite all-time kitchen tools. They dry off things so effectively, so quickly, without the use of towels. If you don't own a salad spinner, everybody, you're making a mistake. And it is very fun. That's right, Moonha. Get a salad spinner. That's right, Blinkwitch. Get one. Get it. So, there we go. All of it nice and trimmed off. Now I'm going to go ahead and take another one of my favorite kitchen tools, guys. My handy dandy little bench scraper. I'm going to go ahead and scrape up all of those little scraps and toss them aside. I didn't add the string bean scraps into the stock itself because it doesn't really lend itself well to that. It just provides an overcooked vegetal flavor. So sometimes some vegetable scraps, not ideal for the stock, okay? So things like carrot scraps, celery scraps, onion scraps, really good. String bean scraps, not so much. Cabbage scraps, you can make a cabbage stock, but it's a little bit different. So, all of my scraps, as always, everybody, instead of going back and forth to the trash can, I have a little waste bowl set up on my cutting board. A little waste bowl so that all of my little vegetable scraps can just go there at the end of it all. Great, wonderful. String beans, acquired. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw them back into this little container. And we can go ahead and continue with the rest of the prep for the string beans. We're going to want a good amount of garlic. Everybody, if you don't know, well, guess what? Now you know. Korean cooking, quite heavy on the garlic. So, nice whole garlic head. And today, I want like little garlic chips. I want some really, really nice sliced little pieces of garlic as opposed to my usual crushed garlic, okay? And I think that's gonna be really delicious. So I'm just gonna take it and I'm gonna crack this bad boy open. Excellent. And we're gonna do, this is some big fat garlic that we have here. I'm probably gonna do like just 2 cloves of garlic for the string beans. And then we're going to need some more garlic for the jjigae itself. So we're gonna have the garlic press, Moonhood, don't you worry. We're gonna have the garlic press for the jjigae. That's gonna be back later, just not at this very moment in time. Okay? Also, really quickly, guys, this is my knife. This is my beautiful Kramer's Willing carbon steel knife. Okay, it is carbon steel, meaning that it is susceptible to rusting. That means you need to wipe it down often after you've cut something with it. If you have stainless steel knives at home, which most of you probably do, unless a few of you are really big cooking enthusiasts, then you don't have to worry about that nearly as much. Okay, so garlic cloves. What do we need to do? We're gonna go ahead and give them a light smash, my friends. Not so much that we completely break it down, but a light smash is just enough to go ahead and help us to peel off the skin. Just give it a nice little tap. There you go. I want a salad spinner, but not for when you're cooking, for when you're eating. The salad will be spinning around in an enclosed bowl, just like constantly rotating. Oh, that's great. Yeah. There's a mouthpiece, and when you open it, a bite of salad shoots into your mouth under pneumatic pressure like a lotto machine. Great. I don't know really how to respond to that, other than that's a funny suggestion. I'm sorry. I'm not good with jokes sometimes, other than acknowledging, like, oh yeah, that's funny. So there you go. Great. Garlic. I got 2 cloves of garlic, my friends. And all I'm going to go ahead and do, we're just going to be looking for nice little thin slices, and that's going to get sauteed alongside the string beans, and it's going to make it nice and pungent. It's going to make it nice and aromatic. I love garlic, and so should you. So slice it, and slice it, and slice it, and slice it up just like so. And slice it, and slice it, and slice it, and we're going to just get a bunch of garlic chunks. There you go, there you go, there you go, there you go, there you go. And almost done. All the way through. This one was a little bit too thick. Jokey Steam, welcome on in. It is indeed the best cooking show on the internet. Welcome on in. It is lovely to have you as always. Howdy, howdy. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my cute little condiment bowl, everybody. My cute little condiment cup. That beeping sound was the pressure cooker telling us that it has indeed successfully built up pressure. If you don't own a bunch of little condiment bowls, by the way, you're making a mistake. One of my favorite pieces of kitchen equipment, just because they let me store and organize little quantities like garlic, just like so. It's perfect. It's excellent. Okay, so again, everybody, this string bean dish, it's going to be a little bit like a cold salad. So I'm going to want some cilantro inside of there. I'm going to want some scallions inside of there. I'm also going to want a little bit of vinegar inside of there as well. This is preparing me to go eat Korean food because I'm hungry. While Jokey's team, instead of going out for it, my goal is to get you guys excited about making it at home yourself. So, a little bit of garlic. Next, let's go ahead and let's just do some scallion greens. I'm not going to saute the scallions or anything. We're just going to go get a few greens that we're going to slice up nice and thin. Okay, and that's going to go into the salad and it'll be great. So, scallion greens, my friends. Grab these bad boys and I'm going to go ahead and stack them up. Maybe one more. Right, and we're choosing the greens and not the whites because the whites, they tend to be a little bit more pungent. They tend to be a little bit closer. I'm just looking for like a nice delicate green inside of the salad. So everybody, I'm gonna be going for a nice thin slice. Grab your knife. You want a nice long chef's knife. And super, super important, we don't chop it. We don't do a vertical motion. As always, we slice. We gently, gently use the full length of the knife, my friends. Ready? Base to tip, full length of the knife, full length of the knife, full length of the knife. And I'm looking for nice thin slices. Nice thin slices, thin slices, thin slices, all the way through. And we're going to get a bunch of lovely little scallion rounds that is going to go into the salad. And so we'll go back to the scallions later for the rest of the prep that we need to do for them. But guys, remember, this is Korean food. You can never have too many scallions at the end of the day. Okay? So, slice it and slice it and slice it. You want to have minimal contact with the cutting board with your knife, guys. The goal is to just be able to slice through it. You want to slice through it. You don't want to drag your knife against the board. You don't want to chop it. You don't want to crush it. You want to destroy your scallions, guys. Slicing and chopping are not interchangeable. So important to always have a sharp knife in the kitchen, my friends. I'm going to go ahead and grab one more little tiny baby condiment bowl. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab a bunch of cilantro leaves, and that's going to go into the salad as well. Afterwards, my friends, we'll begin the sautéing process because I would like my string beans to fully cool down by the end of the meal. So my little baby scallions, in she goes. Next, I'll grab a handful of cilantro leaves. The rest of the cilantro leaves will go directly into the jjigae, although I may as well just slice them all now that I have them in the palm of my hand. Okay? And again, everybody, cilantro in Korean cooking, not all that authentic, not all that traditional. But guess what? I had some cilantro in my fridge that was beginning to go bad. It was beginning to get a little bit old. And so I want to teach you guys to make the most out of the things that you have before you go out and buy new things. And you can also put things in, even if it's not traditional in something else, guys. It's okay to break tradition. It is okay to deviate from it. So cilantro, take it. And we're going to be super gentle, my friends. We're going to hold it, that's right, like a little baby bird. We're going to grab it, and we're going to bundle it up in our hands. Not so firmly that we crush its little brains out, but not so gently that it flies away. Okay? We're going to take all of our herbs. We're going to take all of my lovely cilantro, and we're just going to bundle it up in my hand. Okay? Just like so. And then we're going to gently put it down onto the cutting board. So important, my friends. No chopping, only slicing. I'm going to say this again. No chopping, only slicing. I'm going to take my cilantro here and I'm going to slice it. And we're going to slice it, no chopping. You're going to slice your little baby bird. You're going to slice him nice and thin, nice and thin, nice and thin all the way through. Because if you chop it, my friends, you cleave it, you crush it, you leave a bunch of bruised, wet cilantro that is about to oxidize and turn brown and lose its flavor. We don't want bruised, crushed, destroyed fresh herbs. That's right. I see a few yes chefs. I need everybody to say yes chef to that, please, and thank you. So take it, give it a 90-degree turn, and give it another slice. And of course, everybody, if you have any questions at all about anything cooking related, about anything food related, it does not have to be exclusively about this dish. Remember, I'm here to help you guys out. I'm here to teach you guys how to cook at home. So any and all questions, I really, really appreciate it. Okay, so take it and just slice it up nice and thin. Slice it up, slice it up, slice it up, slice it up. Beautiful. And that's about it. Excellent. So about little less than half of this is going to be used for my salad today. And then the rest of it is going to be used for garnish and also for my jjigae. So guys, look at my veg scraper. Look at this bad boy. Look at this bad boy. Ready? Bam. That's why you need to have a bench scraper. These are amazing kitchen tools that I cannot emphasize enough about the use of, okay? So these are all the ingredients. What's the thing with mashing scallions? Why is it bad? So Tobio, it's less about mashing the scallion, but it's more about just making sure that your knife doesn't slip out. Because guys, I'm gonna give you guys a little lesson here. When you cut something with a knife and you go vertically down, you put a lot of pressure vertically down. There's a few problems. First, you're only dulling your knife on one part of it inconsistently. You're only dulling this little teeny tiny chunk of the knife. You're not using any of the rest of the knife. Okay? So by slicing it, by using the full length of the knife, my friends, we're not letting one side get dull before the other. The next thing is this. When you chop something, my friends, the knife cleaves out. The knife cleaves out and it doesn't give you a nice flat cut. How many times, I have a question for all the chat. How many times have you cut carrots and you don't get a nice flat plank, but you get like a triangle shaped wedge? How many times have you tried to slice onions, but it wasn't a nice straight cut? Instead, the knife seemed to have pop out. How many times has that happened to you? That happens, my friends. Those weird wedges happen because you chopped and you didn't slice. You need a nice sharp knife and you need to slice, and it makes a world of a difference. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and rinse off my knife and then I'll dry it off nice and easy. And then we can begin sauteing my string beans and preparing the salad. And the string beans, guys, my goal is just to get them charred. My goal is to get them blistered. My goal is to get them nice and soft and to develop a little bit of flavor. We're not going to need too much oil for this. We're just going to need to go ahead and get a pan nice and hot. So, drying off my knife really quickly, and we'll begin sauteing my string beans. It'll be great, it'll be delicious. And we'll add in the garlic, and then we'll mix it up with our sesame oil and a little bit of vinegar. Okay? It's important to not to use the knife as it was an axe. That's right, Tobias. Now, sometimes you do need to chop, right? You do need to chop when you're cutting through something really hard, like a butternut squash, or if you're going directly through a bone like you would a cleaver, okay? The harder the vegetable is, the more vertical force you need. Otherwise, as much slicing as possible. Additionally, when I worked at a sushi restaurant, the chef always told me you want the flavor from the veggies in your dish and not soaked into your cutting board. Exactly. When you crush it, you destroy the cells instead of properly slicing it. So Chow Yoda asks me, I make chicken strips with buttermilk and the internet KFC coating on them. How can I freeze them without them sticking? They stick to each other, they stick to foil to freeze it. Okay, I have an amazing answer for you, Chow Yoda. And the answer, my friend, is this. You want to freeze them individually on a nice wire rack, just like so, nice and individually, spread out, and then after they're frozen, you can then pluck them out. Ideally, you could do this, you could freeze them directly on plastic, freeze it like on a sheet of like plastic wrap or something, individually, not touching each other. Once they're solid, then you put it inside of something like a freezer bag. So freeze individually and then put into a bag, and that way they'll stay nice and separated, just like your parents. Somebody's in chat. My parents were divorced in the freezer. Excellent. So that's my answer for you. I hope that helped. Now, my friends, I'm going to find my hair tie that I inexplicably lost onto the ground. Beautiful. Thoughts on air fryers? Jokey steam. Here's my answer for you. They are glorified convection ovens. They're convection ovens. They take up a lot of space on the countertop. I much prefer a toaster oven with convection capability. So, everybody, to the stove we go. And I'm just going to grab a nice little stainless steel pan. What is the best soup? Well, Mick Smith, guess what? The best soup is whatever soup that you want in the moment. Because all food does different things. There's no such thing as a food that is better than the other. Right? In my case, there's a lot of different soups that I love. We're making a jjigae, that's a stew. If we're talking about a nice clean soup, I love a good matzo ball soup, okay? So, everybody, we're going to go ahead and grab a nice stainless steel pan. In this kitchen, we don't really need to use non-stick pans. I am here to show you how to master stainless steel. I'm here to show you how to have food that does not stick to stainless steel. I need to hear your chef from everybody watching, and super important, I need your full attention for this. Everybody says online, in the world of food content, they say, oh, you know that your pan is hot enough because you take it and you blast it onto high heat, and then when the water starts dancing, when the water beads start dancing, that's how you know it's ready to go. Absolute and complete nonsense, my friends. Because the light and frost effect with the dancing little beads of water has nothing to do with whether or not it sticks, because the pan becomes non-stick significantly before the light and frost effect. The most important thing is to evenly heat your pan. if you heat your pan up on high for 2 minutes and then you put in some water and you think it's hot enough, it's not. Because all you did, especially on a gas stove, you would have developed hot spots and you would have developed cool spots. The key to any evenly heated piece of equipment, Dutch ovens, cast iron pans, stainless steel pans, is to heat it up slowly. So, medium-low heat, and we're just going to need the teeniest, tiniest splash of oil. I don't want too much oil in this because we're going to have some sesame oil added later on, and this is just plain old canola oil, something that can resist high temperature cooking. Okay, so little tiny, teeny tiny splash of it, just like so inside of the pan, and now we're heating this up on medium-low, my friends. Medium-low. So low heat is best when heating up a pan. Jokey steam, medium to medium and low. If you need a low heat, then low heat is best. But I almost never do high heat because high heat just simply overheats the hot spots and eventually heats up the cool spots too. But the pan is so hot that we don't really need it for anything. Right, so medium heat, and we're gonna heat this up over the course of several minutes, my friends, okay? So not just immediately, we're not just immediately getting into it. In the meantime, we could also just prepare the bowl where the salad is going to be taking place. It's going to be a small little salad. I love that your kitchen looks like you actually cook there. I do. This is my home kitchen. I cook, I do the cooking show 3 times a week. I also cook my lunches sometimes. Okay, so everybody, in this bowl, I'm going to go ahead and just immediately add in my scallions as well as my cilantro. Right? Because they'll just be added in towards the end anyways. I can probably use this condiment cup for something else later on. And now we're just going to add in a few things that we want in the salad. Next, a little bit of toasted sesame seed oil. I love sesame oil. You can easily overdo it, my friends. Remember, less is more when it comes to sesame oil. So we're going to start off with just a little drop. And then if we need more, guess what? We can always add more later on, right? Nice and easy. In she goes. I'm going to go ahead and find a type of vinegar that I have in my cabinet. Let's see what we have. I have some plain old white distilled vinegar. That might be what we use today. Ideally, I love using Chinese black vinegar. Really, really delicious for salads. But if all we have is a little bit of white vinegar, then I guess that will do too. You know what? No. In my fridge, I have half a lemon. Maybe we just use the lemon. Let me see if we can just do that, guys. If we have half a lemon left over, we may as well use it before we go ahead and use anything else. Mr. Lemon, are you ready to be squeezed? Oh, yes, he is. Excellent. So, lemon in Korean food, not all that often. You don't really see lemons in salads. But guess what? It's still going to be delicious. It's still going to be fragrant. It's still going to be nice and aromatic. Okay? Even if it's not traditional, we're using the things that we have at home above all else, guys. So, I'm going to find my favorite kitchen tool. I feel like I've said this about all my kitchen tools. I just have really good tasting kitchen tools. I have my handy dandy little citrus press. So much easier than using your hands because your hands, they cramp up, especially with something as tough as a lime. Grab it flesh side down, not flesh side up. Take it and we'll go ahead and douse my cilantro and my scallions with the lemon juice. Just get that going and get that ready for us later on. Lovely, beautiful. Go ahead and discard that. And I can go ahead and give that a little rinse. Because everybody, when you cook at home, you absolutely must clean as you go. If you're done with an ingredient, if you're done with a spice, if you're done with a sauce, put it away. If you're done with something like this, which doesn't need to be dishwashed, it doesn't even need soap on it, we can just rinse it off with some nice cool water right now and let it dry. Guys, make the most out of your passive time. In cooking, especially in home cooking, you need to know how to manage your passive time and your active time. We're waiting for the pan to heat up. We have nothing left to do. That is called passive time. Don't go on your phone. Don't sit down on the couch. Now is the time for you to go ahead and put away things you don't need. Okay? If you cramp your hands on lemons, you won't be able to properly hold a gamepad. Dream Canoe, my hands cramp up squeezing a lemon. I am so tired of those botted Twitch followers already. I have to say, I am so sick of those million follower notifications. Okay? I like followers. I just don't like fake followers. Okay? Okay. Everybody, my pan at this point in time, I'm going to say with an amount of confidence that she's nice and hot. We heated it up slowly, okay? A little bit of oil inside. We don't want too much. The string beans, they don't even tend to stick or anything. Only thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to give my oil a nice little shake, make sure it's evenly coating the bottom of the pan, and in my string beans go. Now we can go ahead and push this up to a medium heat or so. Medium, medium, high. Take it. Kosher salt, my friends. Get it nice and seasoned. Get it nice and delicious. Grab a nice pinch of kosher salt and season it up. Okay? A little bit of salt. And now we just gotta saute these bad boys. Saute them and get them nice and blistered. You want to get them nice and charred. Okay, you don't want to overcook these until they're complete mush. You still want a little bit of texture to your string beans, my friends. Super, super, super important. I love string beans too, Jokey's team. So, why do we keep moving them around as we cook them? That's because that helps us to get a nice, even brown color on them, my friends. This is only going to take about a minute or two inside of the pan itself. But remember this, think about it this way. String beans, irregular, smooth surface. Okay, if you just like flip it or just like move it around occasionally, you're not going to evenly brown it. So you want a pan that's quite hot, and you want to be able to toss these often. Look at these bad boys. Look at my beautiful little string beans. All right, get them nice and charred. Give them a little shake just to settle them all back down, and we'll go ahead and flip them. No, I'm not adding cold air into the moonha. My pan is hot enough. All right, I got plenty of heat going on. Take them. Flip them, give them a few seconds, maybe like 10 seconds, and we'll go back in and flip them again. I want to get them charred, my friends. I want them a little bit blackened. I want them a little bit crispy, and it's going to come out and be delicious, and it's going to be so lovely. Okay, excellent. There we go. Give them a little flip again, because guys, if you flip them too much, and if you flip them too often, you will end up with, you know, well, excuse me, hold on. If you don't flip them enough, they're not going to cook evenly. They're not going to char evenly. If you flip them too much, it's never really going to cook in time, and it's just going to kind of end up steaming, right? So one flip or two flips is usually just enough, right? We don't need to keep constantly flipping them or anything. I'm so nervous a string bean will fly out. It won't, Shy Chica. So in order to saute, in order to flip, my friends, it's a push and pull, 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 push and pull. Just like so, nice and easy. Okay, that's all that there is to it. That's all there is. I'm gonna start lowering my heat. I want my pan to begin cooling down. I'm gonna add in my garlic soon. And if I add my garlic into a super hot pan, it's going to of course burn. So we're at this point in the string bean cooking process. I'm going to go ahead and grab one for a little taste. I wanna see what the texture is like, but I am quite confident that they're almost where I want them to be. Okay, so grab a little string bean. Give them a little flip once again. Again, everybody, I want them nicely blistered. I want them nicely charred. I want them nicely blackened. Quite tasty. But not ready. Too much crunch. An aggressive amount of crunch. In fact, that is not what I'm looking for, my friends. So, let them go. Let them do their thing. Nice and easy. And that's going to become a part of our salad. Does anybody have any questions for me in the meantime? We have my scallions, we have my cilantro, we have my sesame oil, a little bit of lemon juice. This is a zero water softening, correct, Turina? Because I really, really wanted to push how blistered and how much charred and how much like sauteed flavor we can acquire on them, right? That was like my predominant motivating factor here. I'm gonna turn on the vent fan a little bit. Just because it's getting a little smoky in here, sauteing. And yeah, we're just waiting for these to be done. A few more minutes, my friends. Nice and easy. Beautiful. Let them go. Let them do their thing. They're shrinking up a little bit, and this will be perfect. Again, everybody, in Korean cooking, it's not all about sitting down and eating a bunch of one dish. It's about having several little vegetable side dishes. So you know how you go out to KBBQ, you get a little bit of kimchi here, you get a little bit of potato salad, you get some radishes. That is what banchan is. It's a bunch of little tiny side dishes. In my case, I'm going to be doing a string bean salad with cooked string beans. And also in the East Asian cuisine, maybe not so much Korean cooking, I'm more so thinking about Chinese food. A lot of salads are made with cooked vegetables, right? Very few salads will have any raw leaves on them. I love KBBQ, I want. Well, Jokey, there's no KBBQ happening here. This is all about showing you real Korean home cooking, right? Not always having to directly do with that. With KBBQ. KBBQ is the kind of a food that you go out for. I enjoy going out to KBBQ. I will say though, I think others really like going out to KBBQ with me. Because I do a really good job of it, okay? It is, so here's the thing. I'm a Smash commentator, right? I travel around for esports stuff. It's a kind of a notorious thing that people in fighting games, they always go out for KBBQ, and gamers love going out for KBBQ. Gamers love going out to KBBQ with me. Nobody does it quite like I do. Nobody does it quite like I do. It's a lot of responsibility, but I take it in stride, okay? So, grab another string bean. Ready. So, lower the heat. We're taking the pan off. We're taking the pan off, my friends. I'm taking it off to cool it down for a second. I'm shaking it to whip in some cold air. I want to cool this pan down. Cool it down. Cool it down, cool it down, cool it down. Okay? Cool it down because we're about to add the garlic. Cool it down. So just keep shaking it, keep tossing it, keep shaking it, keep shaking it, keep shaking it, keep shaking it. Just try to whip in as much cold air as possible so that we can reasonably lower the heat, my friends. And once the heat is somewhat lowered, garlic goes in, and also saute that really quickly. Back into the pan it goes. And give it a nice little toss, and toss it all the way through. And you guys can see, even with little oil, my garlic is not sticking. None of my vegetables are sticking because we heated up the pan slowly and we heated it up evenly. That is the magic of doing so, everybody. That is where it's at. So the garlic, I'm just going to be slowly cooking through. Right, my lovely little slices of garlic. Also, thank you, Miss Dark. I appreciate it. There she goes. Okay, everybody, really important. I just want my garlic to be somewhat softened. I'm not looking for my garlic to be burnt. Burnt garlic, super bitter, super unpleasant to eat. I'm not sure I had to tell you that, but there you go anyways. So, we're constantly moving it at this stage because my garlic, I wanted to infuse into the oil slightly. I want a little bit of golden color on it, but I do not want brown garlic. Okay? So, just moving it around until the garlic is just fully softened, a few more minutes, and then it'll be all set. Does anybody have any questions for me? KBBQ dining options question. Does chef err on the side of pricey, well-known, or family-run side? I go wherever is cheapest that has all you can eat. Although that's probably not the best. I think all you can eat models are really stressful because I never feel good by the end of it. And I feel like I'm always like, oh, I have to maximize the amount of money. So I do like doing just like KBBQ meat sets. But it's always so expensive. It's so expensive. Ugh, I wish KBBQ was less expensive, guys. I don't like all you can eat. I don't like all you can eat buffets. They're so stressful every single time. Because anytime you want to eat like a bowl of rice at KBBQ, there's always somebody in you saying, no, you have to only eat meat. You have to get the most out of your money. And then your stomach hurts because you ate 3,000 calories worth of pork belly and nothing else to go with it, with no fiber. Ugh, I'm so sick of it. So sick of it. Hate it. Enough of it. Okay, turning off my heat, turning off my stove. I'm going to say that my string beans and my garlic are all ready. Yep. Nice and crunchy. Nice and delicious. Probably needs a lot more salt. Is the only thing that it's missing at this point. My garlic should have gotten nice and soft. And so that's going to be perfect for the salad. Still has some texture, still has some good crunch to it, and it'll be delicious. Have I ever made Korean pickled garlic? I have not, Trash Can Cat Mom. Is that the purple garlic? Like the bluish, it like takes on like a very, very interesting tone. Carnivore diet KBBQ, that's right. They'll go in, they won't go for the bulgogi, right? Anything marinated, just straight, unseasoned pork belly. Nothing but that, guys. Yeah, that's what men eat. Men do nothing but eat meat. Delicious. Little scent of garlic. Yummy. Okay, only thing, a little bit more salt. I'm just cooling this down so I don't add hot vegetables into my scallions and whatnot. A little bit of salt. Toss that in. Get that all back in there, my friends. And then we'll add this and make us a beautiful salad. So just shaking it to cool it off slightly. It's okay if it's slightly warm going into it. It'll be all right. I think it'll be fine. I'll just add it on it as it is. If it slightly cooks it, then God forbid it slightly cooks it. Who cares? Not me. So, scallions, cilantro, lemon juice, sesame oil. In goes my lovely string beans. And now we just gotta toss it with all the dressing. We gotta cool it down, and then it'll be ready to eat with the rice and the jjigae. Beautiful. Get that all in there, get every last piece of that delicious garlic inside as well. Okay. And then we'll give it a little taste. We'll see if it needs anything, and then we will be done with it. So take it and just mix it up. Mix it up, my friends. Mix it up, mix it up, mix it up. And that's gonna be perfect. Nice and simple, nice and delicious, nice and seasoned. Could also probably do like some kind of chili in there, like a green chili, like a little serrano or like a Korean green chili. Would be lovely in here. This is more like marinated garlic. I see, Trash Can Cat Mom. Otherwise, I've not made it, and I don't think I've had it either. So, mix it up. Chopsticks are so practical when someone masters them. That's right. I love the control that chopsticks give me over something like this. I'm just making sure that all of my scallions and all of my cilantro and whatnot, that all of it is getting like mixed in and really, really coating each and every single piece of string bean. Let's give that a taste. Guys, that lemon juice with the sesame oil is so bright. That is delicious. Wow. Back to this. Only thing, still needs more salt somehow. Still somehow this small, teeny tiny quantity of string beans is begging me for more salt. I don't know how it does it, and yet it does. Mix it up, guys. Mix it up. Mix it up. And this is such a simple, quick little side dish. You saw how quick it was from start to finish, right? That's delicious. I've never made it with lemon juice. Guys, this pairing of sesame oil and lemon juice, I don't know if I've necessarily done that before. That is amazing. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm kind of like dragging this right now, but this is like a really damn good salad. Damn, that's good. That's it. Cool it down. I'll throw this into my fridge. It's not hot on the bottom. If it's hot, you want to let it cool off a little bit, but it's a very small volume. I'm going to chill it down. That's my salad, my friends. So all of this is made from leftovers. I had leftover half a lemon. I added it in. I had leftover string beans. So thus it becomes part of the banchan. I had some garlic, I had leftover cilantro, and I had some beautiful scallions. Because remember, in Korean food, you can never have too many scallions. So there she is. That's all done. And I'm going to go ahead and shove that into the fridge. So, that being said, it is time for us to begin the start of the show today, which is going to be all of the prep for our lovely jjigae. I have half an onion, and I also have a little teeny tiny baby potato, okay? We're going to go ahead and begin prepping this and begin breaking it down for the jjigae today. So, as for the onion, you need to all understand this. A jjigae doesn't typically have any sautéed or roasted ingredients inside. Korean cooking is very simple cooking. A lot of it is kind of just boiled, right? A lot of stews are just boiled. A lot of soups are boiled. I feel like in Western food, we can get lost in the weeds. We can get lost in the weeds of, oh, we need to sear this for maximum flavor and we need to brown this. Korean cooking in a lot of ways, it's very clean. It's very simple and it's very refined. And so it might all just be quote unquote boiled, but it's all still going to be very delicious. I can promise you that much. So, onion, take it. I'm going to go ahead and just cut the butt of it off. And we're going to go ahead and give it a nice good slicing session, okay? I might do another half an onion, honestly, because I really, really like onion. So I'm gonna grab one more little onion. I'll get that bad boy ready for us then. Unfortunately, I did not decide to use the other onion before, we got all the scraps into the stock, but that's okay. Grab that other onion, everybody, and we're going to go ahead and slice it down lengthwise through the root, just like so, okay? So, once again, one of these little onion halves, I'm going to save for something else in the future. We can always just wrap that up and put into the fridge. I'm not going to pre-chop it though, because I don't know what I'm using that onion for later. I don't know what dish I'm going to be using it for, and so I want to keep it as intact as possible. It keeps it fresh longer, right? And it also gives us the most amount of versatility. So, using my bench scraper, once again, where did she go? Thank you, buddy. We're gonna get all of these nasty little vegetable scraps off of my cutting board and into my little bowl. Okay, cut off the butt. And all that we're doing, my friends, is we're going to go for a medium thick slice here. How many inches? I don't know. And above all else, I don't care either. We're just not looking for something so thin that it falls apart and nothing so thick that it completely overtakes a bite. So, nice medium thick slice, my friends. As always, sharp knife and you won't cry. And remember how I said slice it? Slice it, my friends. And slice it. No crying, no tears to be had here whatsoever. Right? Slice it up. Beautiful. Take it and slice it up. Beautiful. I like your I don't care approach, chef. Thank you. But, Chai Chica, here's the thing. The reason why it was important for me to say that I don't care is because there is a lot of gray area in cooking. A lot of people think that food is super, super scientific all the time and that you have to always get lost in the weeds and always try to optimize something. because of how variable food is and how not great we are at sensing differences and how much things shrink down, and sometimes you blend it, sometimes it's not important. Sometimes it's not important. Sometimes, for something like a super refined salad where you want everything to be a perfect little brunoise, sure, it's important. But in this case, guys, you know, we're just doing our own thing. So, on the stove, I'm going to grab my next tool of choice, which is my cute little cocoon. This is where the Jjigae is going to be officially built. And all I'm going to go ahead and do is just grab my onions. I'm gonna go ahead and just add them inside, directly into the pot. Remember, everybody, a Jjigae is not a seared stew. There is no meat that needs to get seared. A Jjigae is supposed to be easy home cooking. Don't overcomplicate it. So, I don't really like Matty Matheson very much. I haven't liked Matty Matheson in about 6-7 years. I think some of his original videos were really, really nice. However, there is one quote of his that always sticks with me when I cook, which is "Don't fuck with the shit." Right? That is a thing that I always remember. Sometimes you don't have to, guys. Don't mess with it, and it'll be okay. So, a little potato. Why do I have one measly, tiny, pathetic little potato? Because I already had him. I had him from the previous dish that we made, and so I wanted to use it up before it goes bad. I'm gonna go ahead and just peel it up because the skin is a little bit old. It's not the nicest skin in the world. And we're just gonna go ahead and slice it. We're gonna slice it to a nice thick slice so that it doesn't overcook and turn into a mush as well, my friends, okay? So there we go, peeling it up, peeling it up. Tarina, do most creators get better over time like a dry brine, or do they get worse over time like destructive prep? Really good question, Tarina. I find that creators have a lot of, when there is a creator who is about to get big, from the beginning, I feel like there is a lot of confidence in them from the people that watch them. Very quickly, they amass fans. And so within a couple of years, they get big. And so I think most often, at least in my world of things, in the world of cooking content creators, they're pretty good sometimes for a couple of years. And then they start selling out, baby, because they want a nice, comfortable life with nice, comfortable, easy sponsorships. And so they take advantage of the relationship and the trust that they've built with their lovely fans, and they start selling them all kinds of nonsense. Now, Matty Matheson selling you Munchies meal boxes that you can go ahead and get delivered to you, and is making really not amazing cooking videos about a lot of dishes that he does not actually know how to make. He no longer has a voice, and it makes me so sad. It makes me, it's so tragic. Guys, one little potato. Again, potato sometimes in Jjigae, sometimes isn't. You could throw in whatever you want in a Jjigae. That's the quiet part out loud really here. Okay, so there you go. All of that, beautiful. Potato, onion, excellent. So, a Jjigae is all about the order of operations. You first cook the onions and the potatoes until they're about 75% cooked. Then you add in the tofu, and then you would add in some of your seasonings and some of your spices. Does anybody have any questions for me? And the reason why we do that is so that we don't lose some of the really, really fresh fermented flavor out of the gochujang, and so that everything is synchronized at the right time, okay? In the meantime, we'll go ahead and get our lovely block of tofu out. I'll actually need to drain that off in the sink first, before anything. There you go. So everybody, once again, my inspiration for today came from the fact that I had all of these leftovers that I wanted to use up before they went bad. That is the way that everybody should be cooking at home. That is the way that you should be cooking at home too. I have a lovely block of extra firm tofu. Again, a very common variation of Jjigae is a sundubu Jjigae, which uses silken tofu. This is extra firm tofu, definitely not silken, but it will still, above all else, be delicious. So I'm going to take the tofu and we're going to cut it into some nice slices. Let's see, what kind of slices do I want to do here? I think I'm going to cut it into 12ths, right? Something like that. So first into thirds, and I'll take each of my thirds and cut them in half. Nice and gently, my friends. Nice slices. Beautiful. 1, 2, is that even? That looks just about even enough for me. 1, 2, and then slice it in half. Not too thin and not too thick. Guys, be gentle. Be delicate. Don't break up this tofu. When we add it into the jjigae, it's actually going to be kept just like this as well, right? This is a little trick that I stole from Mangchi. Mangchi is an excellent Korean food tuber. She makes a lot of really good Korean YouTube cooking videos, and I love her perspective because she's very much so a Korean woman who ate these things and cooked these things for a very long time, teaching it to all of us. So if you want, guys, Mangchi, Mangchi on YouTube. There you go, Moonha, you already asked, and I already have an answer for you. So Mangchi, when I was first learning anything about Korean food, that was the place that I deferred to. And so that's where I've learned about a lot of these concepts, like banchan. And also, I saw all the different kinds of jjigaes that she would make, and then I realized, wait, this isn't an exact recipe. Guys, you can go buy your heart. You can go buy your soul for something like this, you know? So, I'm gonna grab my lovely little block of tofu. Once again, theoretically, you could use any kind of tofu for this. It's a jjigae, it's a stew. I love tofu. I love the protein. I love how spongy it is, and I love it inside of a stew quite like this, yeah? So, tofu, gonna go ahead and put that bad boy aside, and I'll go ahead and wipe off my cutting board quickly because we have all of this tofu liquid just sitting and chilling out that I would personally prefer to wipe off. How's everybody doing? Is everybody enjoying the show today? I hope so. I hope you are. You better be, because if you're not, well, that'll be for later. Okay, next, I got scallions. And how many scallions do I have? The answer is a lot of scallions. The scallions will not be added in immediately, by the way, everybody, to clarify. The scallions will be added in later on into the cooking process. Because if we add the scallions in immediately, they're all going to turn soft. They're all going to turn into mush. Right? So the orchestration, the synchronization of it all is super essential. What kind of pieces do we want on the scallion? Really good question. Thank you for asking. I want nice big chunks. You hear that beeping? The pressure cooker is done. We can now release the pressure. Let that go. And then I will show you guys how beautiful my chicken stock is. I want nice, big chunks of scallions inside, my friends. Remember, in Korean food, you can never, ever have too many scallions. That is something that you need to live by, my friends. Take it and slice it and slice it and slice it. Nice, big, beautiful chunks. There you go. There you go. There you go. Amazing. Next, big, beautiful chunks. And then after the chicken stock is done, we'll go ahead and we'll do a little recap session. And I'll show you how beautiful my chicken stock is. I can already smell it filling up the room. Underestimated Monkey, welcome on in. I hope you're having an amazing day today. This is not kimchi jjigae. This is a tofu and chicken jjigae. Not all jjigaes are made with kimchi, but they can be. I have a jjigae, although it's a very weird one, and I'll show that off in a second. That'll just be served up as a side dish. It's not one that I made myself. I went to the farmer's market, and there was a lovely Korean old lady selling her homemade kimchis. And so that's what I got a little bit of. So, everybody, once again, in Korean food, you can never have too many scallions. My pressure has been officially released. So, that being said, I want to hear a nice resounding yes, chef, from everybody watching, from everybody, even if it's your first time, even if you're lurking. I want you to run to your computer because I'm going to go ahead and talk about what we have left. I'll talk about all the different things that we've accomplished so far, and we'll talk about why we're making jjigae. I love jjigae. Oh, one of my favorite dishes of all time, I have to say. Also, not enough yes chefs, by the way, just as a little heads up for all of you people over there. Okay, wiping off my knife once again, because this is, you know, a carbon steel knife, so you gotta be really careful with it. My Twitch chat on my iPad has stopped functioning. Uh-oh. Is the stream down? Okay, I think my stream went down for like half a second because OBS threw something at me. No, I think we're okay. All right, my iPad just acted up. That's good, that's good. If my iPad's acting up and not my computer, ooh, that terrified me. All right, excellent, great. So, wiping that bad boy off, let's go ahead and take a look at my lovely homemade chicken stock. The pressure has been officially released. We used up our leftovers, my friends, and that is what home cooking is all about. How do you sharpen your knives? Underestimated Monkey, I go get them professionally sharpened because I am not good with a whetstone yet. I still keep talking about taking classes for them, still haven't done it. One day. It'd be so nice if I could go with a friend to something like that. Ugh. Anyways, so guys, take a look. This is my golden. Look how golden it is. Look, well, you can't because it's all in a pot, right? But look how golden it is. Look how delicious it is. This is a delicious homemade chicken stock, my friends. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and pour it in. So, why am I making this dish today? In my freezer, I had leftover chicken legs and I had leftover chicken wings. I wanted to use them up, and so I wanted to go ahead and turn them into a lovely little stock today. I used my scallion scraps, my cilantro scraps, okay? I used up all of my different little vegetable scraps and I threw it inside of the pot. We got this gorgeous golden homemade chicken stock, my friends. And now the only thing that we need to do is we need to remove just the chicken legs. The chicken wings are pathetic and tiny and they got no schmeat on them. We could take out the wings too, right? Ah, that'd be fine. We can do that, sure. Okay. Let's just take them out. Let's take them out and then we'll strain out the stock and it'll be great and it'll be delicious. So, just moving a few things aside here, making a little bit of space on my plate, everybody. 1 second, and then we'll get right to it. Beautiful, okay? And I'm just gonna go ahead and grab my chicken legs. I'm gonna try to peel off the vegetable scraps off of them because we don't really need to be eating all that. So, once again, only 37 minutes. Normally I do my chicken stocks for like 50 minutes, but the reason why I didn't go so far is because I wanted to keep the meat on all of my legs and all of my wings. I wanted to keep the meat in a way that it would not fall apart. So, I'll take out my wings, I'll take out my legs, we'll cool them down enough until we can shred them. There you go. Guys, it's just plain boiled, pressure cooked chicken right now. It's not all that glamorous, but it's going to get exciting. It's going to get delicious, okay? Please trust the process, my friends. Trust the process. Get that cooked over here. And then we're going to begin cooking, my friends. We're going to begin cooking it all down, and it's going to be so delicious. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a nice little strainer. Grab that bad boy and pour it in. We don't need any of those solids inside of the final product today. Beautiful. And we're going to keep all of that delicious rich chicken fat too, yeah? So, take the strainer, take them out. Everybody, please say thank you to the vegetable scraps. And now we can actually finally begin cooking the jjigae. Right? So, what do we have so far? My homemade chicken stock, sliced up onions, a sliced up leftover potato. I love doing jjigae. It's a nice, delicious, thick stew. It's spicy. It's going to be flavorful. Right now, it doesn't have its full collection of seasoning, but it's going to get there. You need to trust the process. Right now, broth, onions, potatoes. Honestly, like a basic standard chicken soup at this point in time. Okay? All I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take it and we're going to cook it. We're going to bring it to a boil, drop to a simmer, and cook it for about 10 minutes or so. Eskia, you're excited? Guess what? I'm excited too. I'm really, really excited myself. I love jjigae, I love the flavors, and more importantly, everybody, Korean food should not be as expensive as it is in restaurants. So much of Korean food is all about the staples. It's about scallions, it's about tofu, it's about root vegetables, it's about rice. Why in the world is something like a jjigae, which is a vegetable stew, for $25 a bowl? It is incomprehensible to me conceptually. Incomprehensible. And so, that is why I'm teaching you this. This is home cooking. This is home food. This uses up a million different vegetables. It's so good for you. And above all else, it's going to be flavorful and delicious. Also, root dot berry. Welcome on, and it's been forever. I hope you're doing well. Right? Yeah, $25 a bowl. At least in New York City, K-Town, it's horrible. So, take this bad boy. I'm going to slap a lid onto it. We're just going to bring it up to a boil and then gentle simmer. Because if it's aggressively boiling, we risk the potatoes overcooking and turning into mush, which is not ideal. Okay. Now, what else do you and I actually have to do? We need to shred the chicken. We need to wait for that to cool down for that to happen. We need to slice the scallion greens. We need to also process the garlic and measure out the gochujang and the gochugaru as well. All right, and after that, I think we might actually be, oh yeah, we'll be all set after that point. So, a little bit of passive time right now. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna just throw out the things that I can, right? Make the most out of your passive time, my friends. Throw out things that need to be thrown out. Throw out the plastics, throw out wrappers, and get things into the dishwasher because it's always going to be easier to do it now rather than later. Also, that might be a lot of chicken now that I'm looking at it. I might save my boiled chicken legs for another use later on for this amount of stew that I made. I don't know. We'll see. I don't have to shred all of it or anything. Throw that into the dishwasher. Excellent. What exactly is gochujang anyways? So, Eskia, gochujang is a fermented chili paste. Okay, and it is essential to Korean cooking. You cannot have Korean food without gochujang. Gochujang is used in so many different places. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue with everything else that we need to do. Once again, guys, my only goal, I just got to get this pot up to a boil, drop it to a simmer. We could also probably just season this with a nice amount of salt now, because I want my potatoes and my onions, I want all of them to take on the seasoning as well. So nice, aggressive amount of salt, guys. I'm not going to have, this is not a kimchi jjigae, right? There is no kimchi going into this. Kimchi jjigae is one of my favorite variations, but the kimchi normally adds in a lot of salt. This doesn't have that, so a bunch of kosher salt goes in. Okay, that's going. That's looking great. That's looking fantastic at the moment, quite frankly. Get that up to a boil. Let's see what other prep that we need to go ahead and get done. It's going to begin, my friends. Guess what? Remember how I keep saying, you can never have too many scallions in Korean food. Well, guess what? Look at the sheer amount of scallions I'm going to be doing today. That's an aggressive amount of scallions if I've ever seen them. Okay? Moonha, we start doing trivia if people followed along well. That'd be hilarious. Look at how much scallion that is. Okay. Now, these scallions are going to be used for garnish and then also to go directly into the soup as well. So, Gutaper, you said chop? Not at all. We never chop in this household. We only slice, my friends. I want to get these scallions cut on what's called a bias. Okay? We're going to be cutting them somewhat diagonally because I would love to get these beautiful shreds of scallion that are really, really nice and sharp. Okay? And I'll go ahead and demonstrate that to you now. So, take it. Oh, it fell. That's okay. We'll go ahead and get them back here. Everybody, nice and thin. We're going to take the food. We're not going to angle the knife. Angling the knife is never a good idea. Just take the food, angle it, and now, aggressive angle. Slice it, my friends. Slice it, slice it, slice it, slice it, slice it, just like so. Not to repeat myself over and over again. Just slice it up. Beautiful. And also, I have some leftover rice in my fridge. I'll show you how to reheat rice. I'm going to be doing it in the microwave because I think that is actually the best way to reheat rice. I think people have such a negative connotation with the microwave for some reason, when that really should not be the case. So take it, guys, and slice it up. Beautiful shrapnels of scallions, yeah? Get it all done. All of it beautifully sliced up. Excellent. Grab this little bundle that I didn't quite fully go through yet. And this will be used for both scallions, for both garnish as well as, going into the stew as well at the end. Okay, let's go ahead and grab my next little batch. And all that we're going to do, my friends, is the exact same thing. Take it, stack it up, pile it up, right? Nice, beautiful, fresh scallions. I love scallions. I probably spend so much money. You're not really supposed to be using so much of this all the time, but I think I spend so much money on scallions. I just use it everywhere. And when I use scallions, guys, I have like no self-control. Right? I can't just be like, oh, one scallion for this dish, one scallion for that dish. I feel like I have to use up an entire bundle every single time. So, beautiful shrapnel, beautiful little blades of scallion here. I'm getting exhausted saying that over and over. I'm getting really sick of it, guys. All right, and I'm just gonna take it, and we're gonna go ahead and put it into my nice little Tupperware. My scallion budget is someone else's coffee budget. That's right. I do go out for the coffee as well. It's kind of sucks liking coffee as much as I do and then getting decaf because it feels like it defeats the whole point, even though I do enjoy eating it and stuff. It just still feels weird in my mind. Okay, everybody, come take a look. This is now officially boiling. But guess what? We don't want it to boil. We want it to instead gently simmer. Because if we boil it, we'll overcook the outside of the potato and it's gonna get all weird. Okay? So, gently simmer it. Gently let it just bubble away. Never an aggressive boil, guys. Got my 2 scallions. I'm gonna put them behind me into the past. And then, while we have a moment of time, I'm gonna quickly rinse off my knife. So that pot at the moment, guys, honestly, not that interesting yet. It's gonna get there, but it's not ready yet. It's not even close. It doesn't have the essential seasonings. There's gochujang and gochugaru, but it's all gonna get there, and it's all gonna come together, and it's gonna be lovely, and it's gonna be delicious. Okay? So just simmer it away, let it bubble away. I'm gonna be doing it with the lid off. So you call them scallions and not green onions? Yeah, just because that's, they're interchangeable. You can do whatever you want. I don't actually know why they ended up getting two different names. But there's also like a lot of green onions that look like them, but aren't that. What am I trying to say? There's like the Mexican like grilling onions that you would often see. Also in Korean food, there's like what is between like a leek and a scallion. They're super, super big. They're super, super thick. Right? So I don't know. I don't even know why it even started off having like two different names to begin with. Scallions are a fun name, and that's why I like to say it proudly. Over green onions. I like them as their own thing. If anything, I consider it more like a baby leek. Right? I feel like a baby leek is a lot more apt, even if it might not be biologically correct. Grab that. I'm gonna grab a nice spoon. And we're just gonna give this a nice little stir, guys. Give it a little stir. Move it around a little bit. Just make sure everything is cooking up nice and even. Make sure the onions are all broken up. It's nice and golden. The chicken stock smells truly beautiful at this stage. And then we'll give it a few minutes. And then we'll add in the tofu. We'll add in all the other good stuff. And it will be lovely. Okay, I'm going to have a sip of water. Please tell me I did not spill water on my microphone. I did not. I only spilled it on my t-shirt. Oh, Eskia, I know my throne wish list is empty. I apologize. I know, one of these days I'll update it so that people can buy me free stuff again. I know, I'm sorry. Okay, VCC TV, welcome on in. Hope you're having a good day today. Don't know if I saw you in here before, actually. What did the Small Onion musical group call themselves? The Rapscallions? Thank you, Harold Spark. That was very insightful. That was very beautiful. And brave of you to say all that. What kind of t-shirt is that? It looks so fluorescent. This is from Neophoric, N-E-O, the number 4, I-C. They have a cool collection of a lot of different clothes. So, garlic. I want garlic inside of my jjigae. Jjigaes don't often feature garlic, actually, in my experience at least, but I don't care. I want plenty of garlic. I like the pungency. I love how delicious it is. What are those scallion lookalikes called? Ramps? I'm not sure if ramps are the scallion lookalike that you're thinking of. Ramps are slightly different, if I remember correctly, and I don't know, because I was also trying to think of that in a second. Okay, for the garlic cloves, my friends, what we're going to do is we're going to give them a slight little tap. Slight little tap, and give them a slight little tap, because this separates the papery skin from the hard flesh of Mr. Garlic Clove. Take it, or just, that is good too. If you would like. Oh, I've got to adjust my camera ever so slightly. There she is. Okay, perfect. Bubbling away, simmering away. Yeah, this is totally fine to do too. Just take it and it just plucks right off, guys. You smash it, all the skin, off she goes. She doesn't want to be a part of it. She just wants to get out of here, right? Take it and pluck it. Pluck it, pluck it, pluck it. Beautiful. Take it and pluck it off. Off she all goes. My joke was so bad that you took it out of that clove of garlic. That's right, Harold. I was thinking of you, specifically, just you, when I was smashing that clove of garlic. Okay. Yeah, that thing is disintegrated, by the way. That thing is gone, which is fine, because it's all going to go through the garlic press. Okay, everybody, cut off those dried off butts. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. And now, as you all know, mincing garlic is annoying. It's a bit of a headache. Mincing garlic, it's sticky. It sticks to your knife. It sticks to your cutting board. It sticks to everything. So take it and just smash it, my friends. Take it and smash it through the garlic press. One of my favorite kitchen tools of all time. Take it and smash it inside. Excellent. And take it and smash it inside. And take it and smash it. I love my garlic press. I love it to pieces. All right, take it and scrape it off. and I got a little bit more stuck inside because this garlic press isn't so good. This is my roommate's garlic press. I'm gonna put a new garlic press on my wish list one of these days. So I'm sorry that I keep complaining about it. Right, there you go. Great, excellent. Pop it out. I have some garlic that got stuck in here because again, this is not my garlic press that I used for my whole life, but rather my roommates. And it's fine and it's okay and I'm not upset. And I'm very thankful that Faye gave me for the garlic press. Would I ever get a garlic press tattoo? No, that will not happen. Sorry. That's funny, but it won't happen. Okay, garlic, beautiful, nice and pressed, nice and pungent. And I'm gonna go ahead and just add that directly into my pot, my friends, because I wanted to infuse and I wanted to get nice and delicious. I'm just gonna add the garlic inside. What food or cooking tattoo would you get, chef? I don't know yet. I feel like the classic, like, oh, chef knife tattoo, it's a little cringe, isn't it? It's a little corny. Okay, garlic, in she goes, mix it up, in it all goes. And now my soup is beginning to form, my stew, my delicious jjigae, my friends. Okay, I'll put this away. And then I'm gonna go ahead and remember guys, clean as you go. Don't let the garlic press dry. Don't let all of those solids, don't let all of those bits dry off. Just get them out of there, get them out, scrape them off, get them gone, goodbye. Thank you. Wash it now, my friends, and I promise you, you will thank yourself later. Okay, all washed off. Throw that thing in my dishwasher. Beautiful. Okay, so my potatoes and onions have been going. I think now would be like a decent time to add in the tofu. Then we'll do the gochujang and the gochugaru as well. And my chicken is continuing to cool off. Once it's fully cool, we'll of course shred it up and it'll be great. Okay. Normally, again, I feel like in a lot of East Asian cuisines, you have a lot of like really, really salty fermented products. So you don't ever feel the need to add salt by itself. Because this is not a kimchi jjigae, this will need the additional salt. Okay, so back to the stove. Again, guys, you see this bland pot. This is a fully bland pot. It is just vegetables and salt. This is going to change. Stick with it. Trust the process. Okay, so at the moment, what's going on here is we're just cooking down the onions and the potato. Okay, we want to go in at this stage probably, all right, with the tofu before the potatoes get so soft that they fall apart. Everybody, it's all about the synchronization. It is all about the timing. So take the tofu and lay it in just like so. Lay it in and then almost fan it out. What you don't want to do is let it fall apart inside of here. Just fan it out to allow the broth to slip in between the pieces of tofu. But you want to just fan it out like so. Because guys, I'm telling you, if you stir it up, it's all going to just get broken up at this stage. This is something that I saw Manchi do and I was really confused by it at the time. But I'm telling you, it makes a difference. Okay, so let that go for a little bit. Here's your tad idea for real trust the process. I love tofu. That's right, Rootberry. You got it. Okay, next. Super, super important, guys. Some super important ingredients going to be coming on up really soon. This is gochujang. I'm going to go ahead and open it because I have yet to open it, actually. This is gochujang. Once again, this is one of the staples of Korean cooking. This gochujang is used just about everywhere. Okay? It is a fermented red pepper paste. It is spicy, it is delicious, and above all else, it is incredibly, incredibly aromatic. Okay? Where did I get this? I just found this at my local store. Otherwise, any Asian supermarket or any Korean grocery store will always carry gochujang. You will always find that in any Asian grocery store. It is essential. Like, you can't have most Korean food without it. Okay? So, we're going to begin with, I'm trying to find a tablespoon. Thank you very much. We're going to begin maybe like 2 tablespoons of gochujang. Something like that. Because again, if we add too much, we can never take any away. If we don't have enough, we can always add in a little bit more later on. Gochujang does not need to aggressively cook in. The way that gochujang is treated is not all that different to miso paste and to doenjang, which is you want to keep some of that fresh flavor. You don't always super, super heavily cook it down. So I'm going to grab, and again, guys, we're not going in too crazy with this. I'm going to do like 2 tablespoons of that. right? I'm gonna go ahead and slap that lid back onto it, get them out of here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just keep this in the fridge. Super important to keep the plastic on, by the way, so it doesn't oxidize. Gochujang and gochugaru. You already knew too, you were baiting me. I know that you're baiting my answer. Gochujang and gochugaru. Gochugaru is the red pepper flake. For some reason though, it is not as spicy as gochujang is. And I don't know if they use red chili, like a different kind of red chili. This is a powdered red chili, right? Normally when you buy gochugaru, it is in a flake. Mine is powdered, and so that means it's going to be a little bit more concentrated and it's going to be a little bit more dense. So in that case, I'm gonna probably just try with 1 teaspoon of my gochugaru so far. 1 teaspoon, maybe 1.5 teaspoons. And then guys, we can always just adjust and add more as needed. Oh, no. Esquia was asking. You guys just have the same color of like text in the chat. So I saw the color pink and I was like, oh, that's Serena asking. So guys, grab a little bit of broth. It's so much easier to get it out of the container this way. Grab some broth, add it in, almost like we're tempering it inside, but all that we're doing is we're getting a slightly less thick paste this way. Okay, so get it in there, a few more spoons, and also helps to get it off the spoon. Get it in there. Guys, I think that this might be a lot of gochujang, but I don't care. I want it flavorful, I want it spicy, and I want it delicious, my friends. So in she goes into the soup, into my stew rather, into my jjigae. And now this actually gets properly transformed from a bland stew into a beautiful jjigae at this stage. So in she goes. Okay guys, now remember, keep the layers of your tofu. Keep them intact. We're going to stir in the gochujang and the gochugaru, but we're not really going to be joiking the tofu all that much. In fact, naturally, through the boiling process, the gochujang will just get mixed in. Now, oh, everybody, that smell, that aroma, that's what it's supposed to be. This is now actually, truly, finally becoming a beautiful jjigae. I'm not joking that tofu. Don't worry, guys. It's becoming red. It's becoming beautiful. Don't break up that tofu. Leave her alone. Okay? Leave her alone. Let her be for a little bit. And we're going to let this continue to cook. And we're going to let this continue to boil down, my friends. We have this lovely cauldron of stew right now. And it's going amazing. Last thing that we got left is just going to be to shred up that chicken. And I don't think I'm going to be cooking the chicken inside of the stew or anything. We could do that. What I really only had in mind was just to put it into the plate itself. Although we could cook it in. That would be fine, I think. So, chicken. There we go. That's 1 leg. That's 2 legs. Honestly, I don't think I need the meat from the wings. Chef, does this tofu shrink a bit during cooking? Not significantly, is my answer. A little bit, all protein shrink, but I feel like tofu does it the least. Okay, oh, guys, that jjigae smells great. It looks great. It's going to be perfect. Okay, all I'm going to go ahead and do is we're gonna peel off the skin. The skin is gummy. We have no use for the skin, my friends. And we're gonna separate the leg from the thigh. You can see it just easily pop off, just like so. You can see that the thigh bone comes out with a little twist, and we're just going to go through this with our fingers so that we can feel for any little bones and any little gristle, my friends, okay? You do not want any bones and you don't want any gristles inside of your final product. Let's go ahead and separate the chicken leg from the chicken thigh. There should be the knuckle here. Okay, there she is. Get rid of that bad boy, and then through each little piece of schmeat, we go in there, feel around, and we pop it off. We go in there, we feel around, and we just pop it off, guys. That's it. That's all we gotta do. Don't overcomplicate it. Nothing crazy. All we're doing is we're just getting the meat off the bones. There's gonna be a few little bones in there that you gotta be careful of. Otherwise, we keep as much of that meat as humanly possible. That pot is boiling away. Thanks, underestimated monkey. A little bit corny, but thank you. I appreciate it. Chef, what are we infusing THC into our food? Oh God, never. So cringe. There's an entire series, Bon Appetit, on Munchies. That is one of my favorite things to hate watch. It is just like a bunch of rich assholes talking out of their ass about food. It is amazing. It is, oh, God. It is really good entertainment, I will say. Guys, if you haven't watched that, let me tell you right now, you should go ahead and watch that, actually. It is truly a sight to behold. It is pretty incredible. Okay, going through it, going through the meat, shredding it up, my friends. Shredding it up, shredding it up, shredding it up. Getting rid of that little bloodline there, not the most pleasant to eat. Shredding it up, just like so. Nothing crazy, we're not reinventing the wheel here. And come back in. There we go, another little scrap of meat. We're gonna go ahead and take out the leg. And we're gonna take out the thigh bone as well. And we're gonna go ahead. Oh yeah, it's a very good hate watch. I hate watch bad cooking videos, and it is a very big guilty pleasure of mine. It's not a very nice trait about me, but I love doing it, and I love doing it. Oh yeah. That's a good hate watch series. They have a few actually like kind of endearing episodes. They have a few like interesting characters on the show, but otherwise not good. Okay, get in there, peeling off the skin, my friends. Is it a money waste to do it, or are they just bad at cooking? A little bit of both. I'm not honestly all that comfortable talking about it publicly just because of the kind of work that I do aside from this. And so this conversation probably needs a little pivot. Did I watch The Bear? I watched The Bear a little bit when it first came out. I saw season 1. I thought it was okay. It's a little, I mean, all TV and all drama is, but it's like a little exaggerated to the point of like, I'm like watching it and going, this is a little much. Is my like biggest problem with it. We never hate watch Kay's cooking. That's right, because she is a sweet woman and she did not deserve what the internet did to her. No, she's not an amazing cook, but she got bullied relentlessly and made fun of, and she's just this like sweet sweet lady. She's a sweet lady and she's making food and her son's editing her videos, and it's a really, really lovely thing. Okay, so going in there, guys, almost done. We've officially finished shredding up osh meat, and I guess we could just like add it in towards the end. I don't want to add it in immediately because then it would just kind of end up overcooking and turning into these little shreds, which is not exactly what I'm looking for. Guys, look at the color of my jjigae. Look at the color of this thing. Look how beautiful, look how rich, look how vibrant she is becoming. This is what you want to be eating, isn't it? This is the good stuff. Oh yeah, the gochujang, the gochugaru have all cooked in. We're gonna give the broth a taste. We're gonna start tasting for seasoning, my friends. So, gonna grab a nice little tasting spoon, and we're gonna give her a little taste. How is she doing? How do we like it? Are you good? Are you ready? Let's find out. Woo! Flavorful, spicy. Do I want more gochujang in there? Let's say that one more time. Or do I just want more salt? I think, first of all, we definitely need the salt. Ooh. I guess I'm kind of missing the kimchi flavor from like a kimchi jjigae, regrettably. Does the food know things? That's fantastic. Okay, so it's delicious, but it is truthfully lacking a little bit of salt. It needs a little bit of oomph. So, salt going in. Nice big handful of that. Bunch of salt, guys. It's a big pot of soup, and remember, we don't have kimchi in here, so there's nothing else to naturally season it. Next, all of my scallions are going to go in. I'm going to mix it in, and then we're going to give another taste. At this point, we're just going to gently, gently, gently fold that tofu. Do not break that tofu up, guys. Don't break it up. If you break it up, I can and will kill you. All right? I'm not sure if I'm allowed to threaten you like that on Twitch, but damn it, I will. All right? So don't break it up. You don't want little chunks of tofu. You want nice, lovely slices of tofu. Look at that rich stew. Okay? So, that's going. I'm going to let the salt cook in for a second, and then we're going to give that a little taste. Also, welcome on in. I have 2 new chatters all of a sudden. Howdy, excuse me. Bird Scout and Gasper, welcome on in. How'd you find the cooking show? Also, Candy Flip Beats, welcome on in. Happy because of the dish you're making? Oh, I'm happy to provide. I love kimchi. I love, not kimchi, excuse me. I love Korean food. I love jjigae, one of my favorites. And the recommended, excellent. Sounds like the Twitch algorithm is doing its thing at the moment. So welcome on in, Bucket Scout. Welcome to the best cooking show on Twitch. If anybody has any cooking questions, it can be about this dish. It can be about something else. My goal is to teach you guys how to cook at home. Right? I'm here to teach you guys. I'm here to help you out. I'm here to make home cooking fun and accessible, and above all else, elevated and delicious. Right? This is all made from different leftovers that I had at home, and it's turning out exceptionally delicious. So let's give her another good old Daramgar tasting session. You know, I just feel like I want some kind of acidity inside. I want some kind of acidity. I want a little something something. So maybe I think I will do a drop of vinegar in here, but I'm missing the acidity of a kimchi jjigae. Not all jjigaes feature kimchi inside of them, but because this is also using gochujang and gochugaru, I'm thinking about it and I want it. So little tiny drop of vinegar is just gonna go inside, little tiny baby drop, maybe 2 baby drops, just like so. And I think that's going to give this dish enough tang to really balance it out now. Yeah, so gently mix it in. Gently mix it in. Last minute addition. But guess what, guys? That's what food is all about. It's about improvising on the fly. It's about adding the things that you want to add. I think that little bit of acidity is going to do wonders to help balance out this dish, yeah? Give that a little taste. How is she going? How is she doing? Guys, I am so right about everything I talk about when it comes to food. So white wine would not work, Harold, because I think it would add too much of a sweet, distinct wine flavor, which is not really presently found in Korean food a lot. I think that would be too far out of the context of Korean flavors. When you say above all else, is it to accentuate the rest of the sentence, or do you mean we'll make cuisine above all else? No, it's to sound important, Moonha. None of those intentions. It's purely because it makes me sound special and important. Hope that helps. Yeah, guys, that little bit of extra vinegar, it added so much. You have no idea how much it added. Next, still needs more salt. This is a big pot of stew, guys. Okay, it's a big generous pot. We gotta have that salt. All of the vegetables are in there bland. It's spicy, it's delicious, it's flavorful, but it's definitely going to need some more salt. So, another few pinches of kosher salt go right inside. 3, there we go. Let's see how it's going to taste after that much. Mix it in, my friends. Mix it in. Mix it in. Excellent. And now we shall give it another taste. How's it doing? Let's find out. That tofu is holding nicely, isn't it? That's because you were so gentle with it in the beginning of the cooking. Oh, yeah. Guys, that is so delicious. That is so good. That is so good. That is so yummy. Wonderful. Still more salt. It still needs more salt. This is kosher salt. Kosher salt are these little inverted pyramids that are almost like hollow on the inside. So, there we go. Mix it in. Mix it in. Mix it in. Mix it in. Excellent. And now another taste, please. How is she going? That's it. Everybody, cooking is all about tasting and adjusting. Tasting and adjusting, tasting and adjusting. Ooh, I have an amazing question. Abigail, you asked me, is it possible to cook this without it being spicy? I'm sensitive to heat and want to branch out. The answer is absolutely yes. So, really quick thing about Korean cooking. One of the few staples is called doenjang. D-O-E-N-J-A-N-G. Doenjang is very similar to miso paste, except it's a lot more intense and a lot more fermented. Not all Korean dishes feature gochujang and gochugaru. Not all Korean food is particularly spicy either. Korean food actually is sometimes notorious for being a little bit bland. However, what you want to do, my friend, Abigail Lilac, you want to make a jjigae based out of doenjang. There's plenty of recipes out there for doenjang jjigaes. In fact, you could do everything that I did here and just replace the gochujang and the gochugaru with just some doenjang. If you don't have doenjang, in a pinch, you could theoretically just use like some miso paste or something. But that's my answer for you. So I hope that helps. That's such a good question. Because so many people, they get this misconception that, oh, Korean cooking, it's, you know, it's always going to be super spicy. Not at all. If you guys ever had a gochujang before, not spicy in the slightest. Yeah? Okay, give that bad boy another taste. That's just for me. That's just for Daddy Daramgar. Don't call me that. I shouldn't call myself that either. I don't like that. Ooh, guys, that little bit of vinegar, I'm telling you right now, a little bit gave me the acidity. It gave me the intensity. It gave me the oomph. Yeah? Super good. Super delicious. I'm very happy about this. This is almost done. So, it is time for our last touches. My shredded chicken, right, that we made in the process. We're not going to use the other 2 wings for today. I think that's just going to be too much meat. I'm going to add them inside. I didn't add them sooner because if I added them sooner, they would have just turned into shreds and have completely fallen apart. Next, 2 more additions, everybody, in just a second. Once we turn off the heat, I'm just going to let the chicken cook in ever so slightly. I'm going to let it cook in a little bit. Guys, look at that beautiful jjigae, huh? Look at that beautiful pot. This might even be, dare I say, a thumbnail shot of jjigae, because jjigae is always so aesthetically pleasing, isn't it? It's red. Oh yeah, thumbnails love the color red. They love the super heavily saturated colors. It's such a beautiful dish, isn't it? It does look like it's glowing. Oh yeah. Okay, everybody, it is now time for our final touches. I think I'll keep the camera off. So, an ingredient that is not at all traditional inside of a jjigae is gonna be some cilantro. Why do I have cilantro? Because I had it in my fridge, and so I'm gonna be adding it inside. It doesn't matter if it's authentic or not, guys, because at the end of the day, the most important thing is to use up your existing leftovers. Cilantro when the heat is off. You don't wanna overcook your cilantro. Next, a little bit of scallion goes in now. The rest of it will be on top for garnish. And by a little bit, I mean, you know, a bunch of it. And then we'll just go ahead and take it and mix in the cilantro and the scallion greens, and now the heat is officially off, my friends. That is my chicken tofu jjigae. My own recipe, not based off of anybody else. It's myself. It was all me, right? And we got it all together, and it looks great, and it looks super, super delicious. Final touches. Let's get some rice ready. Let's get that going, and then we'll be all set for us to eat and enjoy today. Is everybody excited? I know I'm excited. I have some rice in my fridge. I'm gonna show you the best way to heat up rice, by the way. I think a lot of people, they mess up heating up rice. They think they have to do it in a pan or in a pot. I'm gonna show you the best way to microwave it without it all turning mushy, okay? So a lot of people, they really look down on microwaves. Guys, microwaves, they just do a really good job of heating up a few things, and sometimes I use them to toast chilies. None of this, like, you know, the heck are those vibrating colors? Oh, that's because cameras, they're not the best with really, really red. They tend to create like a little bit of noise. I don't know why. Is there anybody in here that knows more about cameras? I don't know the most about it. I only know it just from my production experience. Oh yeah. Okay, everybody. I'm very excited about this. I see my lovely little salad. And I see my rice. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my jjigae as well. So, as far as my rice goes, really simple. Oh, look at that pot of jjigae, guys. Look at that pot. Please don't tell me I just spilled rice on the floor. I hate Tupperware, and I hate rice that is cold because it always falls out of my Tupperware every single time without fail. I don't know how it manages to do it, but it does. It just does it. It literally just does it each time. Okay. So everybody, really simple. Not that much theory to this, per se, or anything. All that we're going to do is we're going to heat it up 20 seconds, mix it. Heat it up 20 seconds, mix it. Yeah, damp towel, a little bit of water, all that will get the job done. In my case, this is a basmati rice. Ooh, good job. We have made some Filipino dishes. What have I made before? I made... Well, of course, we did a couple of adobos before. And then we also made a coconut milk stew. What was it? Kalbasa? Something like that, with like some squash, with like some kind of pumpkin in there. And we did like a coconut milk stew. It was really, really tasty and really delicious, with like string beans as well. So it was really great. Okay. So rice. That's maybe a lot more rice than I would have wanted for today, if I'm being honest with myself. Guys, there's no like really big secret to this. It's not technical. Heat it up 15 seconds, mix it. Heat up 15 seconds, mix it. If you don't mix it every 15 seconds, what you're going to end up with is just like clumps of rice that get like really, really dry. And then you're gonna have clumps of rice that don't actually end up heating up evenly, okay? Oh, I have no space here. I guess we'll just be eating this on my cutting board today. My kitchen, not, you know, it's a New York City kitchen, so your countertop space will always be limited in New York. That is an unfortunate reality of the situation. I should not have probably shoved my rice like that, but that's okay. Guys, 15 seconds, mix it. 15 seconds, mix it. That's it. That's all I got for you. Well, 20 seconds, whatever. Doesn't really matter. And that's it. That's the secret to it. Because otherwise, if you don't do that, you're just going to end up with a lot of unevenly heated food, okay? It's going to be uneven. It's going to be clumped up in weird ways. It's not going to be what you're looking for. Okay, everybody, it is just about time for us to plate. And we're going to plate, and we're going to enjoy, and we're going to enjoy every single last bite. 20 seconds. Mix it, 20 seconds, mix it 20 seconds, and then it's done. You'll get perfectly reheated rice. It's going to feel and taste just like when it was fresh. Maybe not for like a fried rice per se, but for something like this, a plain old steamed rice, it'll be perfect. Take it. You see those clumps? You see those clumps? Break up those clumps. Break them up. Break them up. Fold the rice over. Another 15 seconds it goes. Your first studio prep area was a large windowsill. Yeah, that sounds about right. Ooh, yeah. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and throw a few things into the dishwasher. And then my friends will be all set and we'll be all ready to go. And it's going to be amazing. You buy basmati rice usually. I just happen to have a massive sack of basmati rice. It's not my favorite, if I'm being honest. I really prefer short grain rices. But in the future, once I use up my white rice, I'm going to make a full pivot towards only eating brown rice for nutritional reasons. Okay, everybody. Oh, it's gonna be time. I'm just gonna wipe off all the stuff that you don't know what that is actually. That's okay. My string beans, just gonna have them as it is. I'm going to go ahead and grab my fresh rice. Well, not quite fresh, but like fresh, right? Still perfectly cooked, right? Not overcooked, not mushy, not exploding. The haiku rice days are over. Probably a mix between haiku rice and a full pivot to brown rice as well. And then everybody, last but not least, certainly not least, is going to be the star of the show today. Is everybody ready? I better hear a yes, chef, from everybody watching for the last time. Because now we must plate this glorious bowl of kimchi jjigae. And we're going to get a little bit of everything with it. We're going to get some tofu, and we're going to get some chicken, and we're going to get some potato, and we're going to get some onion, and of course, we can't forget about that glorious, delicious broth that we worked so hard to achieve. Where is that potato? I want that potato. Get him in here. There she is. That's my jjigae, my friends. Look at that jjigae. Oh, I almost forgot my kimchi as well. So I'm gonna grab that. Look at that. And we're gonna garnish the top of it, of course, with some sliced scallions, because you can never have too many scallions, my friends. Look at that bowl. Look at that bowl. One more thing. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my kimchi from the fridge, put into a little condiment cup. This is once again a kimchi that I got from the farmer's market. It is unlike any other kimchi I've seen. It's like a white kimchi. It's not made out of gochujang. It's made out of just like plain kimchi and then like some anchovies and stuff. So normally kimchi is like really, it's red and it's like a little bit spicy. Not this one, not this one. Okay, grab that, grab a little condiment cup. And this is my banchan, my friends. So important for Korean food. You have a bunch of little side dishes. That is the heart and soul of Korean food. Grab my kimchi, grab some of that. Excellent. Almost exactly like you would have at a Korean restaurant, right? With little tiny condiment bowls. Just like so. Oh. And then we'll just go ahead and get a little condiment bowl full of my green beans. You're not really supposed to have a bunch of them at once. It's a little side dish. Grab that. There she is. There it is. There it is. Look at my plate. Look at all of this food, my friends. Beautiful. That's it. We're done. We're set. We did it all. We've accomplished exactly what we've needed to. This is it. Take that, move that around slightly. Thank you. Just like so. Make a little bit of space over here. Okay. 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 Come on, let's center that bad boy, please. Thank you. Just want to make this look nice. Oh. How much would you pay for this in a restaurant? Like 25 bucks? 25 bucks plus the cost of rice. If I drop one more thing, 5-second rule, it's fine, I wash the floors. If I drop one more thing, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna take a nice little picture for myself, and then we're gonna go ahead and do a little recap session before we dig in and enjoy my lovely bowl of jjigae. Excellent. Everybody, this is it. This is my tofu chicken jjigae. We started off chicken legs and chicken wings with some scallion butts, with some onion scraps, as well as my cilantro stems. Pressure cooked it, and we got a beautiful golden chicken stock. We sliced up onions, and we sliced up potato. We let it cook with the stock. We added in some sliced extra firm tofu. We mixed in gochujang and some gochugaru. Then we added in my shredded chicken. I forgot one important thing, which is now the perfect time. A little bit of sesame oil. Little bit of sesame oil right on top. We put in some freshly sliced scallions. We put in some of our freshly sliced cilantro as well. Nice and bright, nice and aromatic. We made these quick little string bean salad. We sauteed string beans with garlic. We mixed in sesame oil, lemon juice, salt. Okay, really delicious, really aromatic, as well as some scallions. This is some white kimchi that I have. It doesn't have any gochugaru inside of it, so it's a lot cleaner of a kimchi. And then I have some rice to be able to eat all of this with. So everybody, we're going to start off with a nice spoonful of all of my jjigae. Look at that color. Look at that color. Look at that color. Gorgeous. Oh, I miss this. Don't go out for this. Make it yourself. Make this yourself. That's what I want you all to do. I want you to make a jjigae. I want you all to try and make a jjigae. You don't have to follow my thing. Go to Mangchi and follow her jjigae. I want you to make a jjigae. That is the whole point of this. The point of this is for me to get you excited about this. This is a little bit spicy. It's not super hot, by the way. It's not super spicy. It's aromatic. It's meaty. It's so flavorful. And then we're going to go ahead and grab a little bit of that tofu with some of this broth. Laszlo, thank you for the 100 bits. Oh, I missed making jjigae so much. And then every now and then, we're gonna be like, okay, well, let's go ahead and have a little bit of rice with the jjigae. So what I like to do is I like to take my spoon. I like to soak it like that. And then I like to go ahead and maybe grab like a little piece of meat or something. Or like a little piece of tofu, just like that. Grab that all together and dunk that back inside. Oh yeah. And every now and then when we want to break from the richness, my string bean salad, refreshing, aromatic, some kimchi, nice and fermented. Love this kimchi. Tastes like ginger and apple. We've cleansed the palate. Let's go back in. Let's go back in. That's it. Beautiful. So that was that. That was my exhibition on the beauty of jjigae, my friends. If I've not inspired you to make a jjigae, I don't know what it will take at this point. Make it. Make it. Make it happen. Okay? Make it happen. You want to do it. I want you to join my Discord, !Discord. And I want you guys to make it. I want you to make it. I want you to post a picture inside the cooking channel. Okay? Join a Discord. Join the server. Make it and send a picture, please. Thank you. Be really, really important. I want to see your jjigaes. I want to see it all. Even though that sounded off. I don't actually like saying that out loud. So, thank you for being here. if you like what we do here, if you like to support the show, my goal is to do this full-time one day. Exclamation mark Patreon is the best way to directly financially support the show. You don't really get anything in return. The only thing that you get is the satisfaction of helping me out. I want to do this full-time. Any and all help that would be really appreciated, especially because I'm living by myself now, no longer at my mom's place, and I have to make rent. Not to put pressure on all of you, but that's okay. Thank you for being here. Every Wednesday, every Friday, every single Sunday, 5 p.m. EDT, twitch.tv/DaramgarTV, where you're currently watching this all live, or maybe you're watching this on YouTube. Thank you for being here. I'm going to see you all this Sunday, 2 days time, 5 p.m. EDT as always. And until then, hope you all stay safe, hope you all be well, enjoy the weekend, and I'll see you soon.